They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
What's up, everybody? My name is Ethan. This is Courtside TV. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get into it. So, tonight I wanted to talk about the Boston Celtics and some of the things that we've seen from them so far in this preseason, because they haven't looked great, right? We've seen 2 games of them so far against the 76ers and against the Nets, and they haven't looked great in either game, and that's causing a lot of people to go on Twitter and otherwise and talk all this trash about the Celtics and say, oh, this is why this team's not going to be very good this year. They're really going to miss Gordon Hayward. Their depth is not as good, whatever, right? And I just kind of wanted to go over a couple of things here with Boston and why I think that we shouldn't be too dramatic about what we've seen from them. And this is what I mean when I say let's not overreact to the preseason, because I mentioned this, in a couple of my videos this week where I've just said, hey, this is the preseason. People tend to overreact a lot right away, and we just got to remember that players aren't really giving it 100%. Coaches are still messing with their rotations. A lot of teams aren't playing guys who have minor injuries that probably would be playing if it was a regular season game, but if it doesn't count for anything, why risk it, right? So there's a couple, indicators we can take out of the Celtics from their first couple of games, but I don't think we should overreact to them getting blown out twice, which is basically what happened. If you guys saw my season predictions video from a while ago, you'll know that I picked Jayson Tatum to win the MVP. And that's kind of a bold take, but I don't... I stated my reasoning for it then, and I think it still holds up, where I think the Celtics are going to be a good team this year. I still think they're going to be really good, and I think Tatum is going to take another leap in terms of his production and skill and scoring, and to me, this team is still... look at what they have this year as compared to last season, right? Yes, they lost Gordon Hayward and traded away Enes Kanter, but they've got, they brought in Tristan Thompson, brought in Jeff Teague on the vet minimum. I liked what they did in the draft, getting Peyton Pritchard. He was, I believe, a 4-year college player, maybe 3 years, and he can play right away. He's an NBA-ready guy after spending so long in college. We've seen that trend over the past couple of years. Think about guys like Malcolm Brogdon and Eric Paschall, who were in college for 4 seasons and were able to come into the NBA and play right away. So I do think Peyton Pritchard can contribute in his rookie season. Aaron Nesmith is a good shooter, and they got him in the middle of the first round. And so I do think that this depth, while yes, losing Gordon Hayward hurts, obviously, he was a former All-Star, has never really been the same since that ankle thing, but he was still a really good, 20-point-per-game scorer that came off the bench. At times he started for Boston, but that does hurt them, don't get me wrong. But bringing in, a couple of guys on the veteran minimum, and then as well as the draft and Tristan Thompson on that mid-level, I think, it helps make up for that loss. And then the other thing is that I really do believe that Jayson Tatum is going to take another leap this season. We saw him, right around after the All-Star selections came out. He started playing really, really well. He said that a goal of his was to make the All-Star team. And then as soon as he made it, it was almost like he kind of got that monkey off his back and started playing really, really well after that. And from then to the end of the season, and in the bubble as well, he looked really, really good. And Tatum is now entering his 4th season. I do feel like, they were talking about this on the broadcast tonight, where he's gained a little bit of muscle. It looks like his shot has always been pretty good. So hopefully he's been continuing to work on that and improving there. And there's rumors that he's grown a couple inches, which is pretty crazy. He's 23, and he's still growing, so he's gained 2 inches according to a couple sources there. So if that's true, then he's going to be even tougher to guard. So I really do believe that Tatum is going to be an MVP candidate for Boston this year. I think he's going to average, he has the potential to average 25 points a game, and I really do think that everything is set up for him to have a super nice season, especially with Kemba Walker being slated to miss the first couple of months of the year. Tatum will kind of have to carry more of the scoring load with Kemba out, and so I do anticipate him to really take that role on, and I think he'll thrive in that role. I think he's really ready to take his next jump as he transitions into a real superstar in the NBA, because I think there's a chance that before the season is over, we consider Jayson Tatum to be a top 10 player in the league. I really do think he's going to have that good of a year. just based on a couple of trends that I've, seen from players in the past. And I just feel like Tatum is ready to take that leap. And I mentioned the depth, I think, is still good. Yes, losing Hayward hurts, but bringing in a lot of those guys, it's going to help them. And so they shot really poorly tonight. Looking at my numbers here, they shot 34.8% from the field and only 17.8% from three, which, those numbers aren't great. But that's not really going to happen in a regular season game. I mean, it will, but not consistently is what I mean to say. They were playing a lot of their end of the bench guys who won't be playing as much time, and Brooklyn just kind of got the jump on them and came out of the gate strong, and looked good the entire night. And we know that Brooklyn's offense is great, and so I'm not surprised that they were able to run up the score pretty quickly, and the game got pretty out of hand for Boston. Their defense probably could have been a little better, but this is, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving we're talking about. They played really well tonight, and so I don't want people to overreact to the Celtics from these couple of games that we've seen. Don't overreact to whatever they've done in the preseason, and I'll say that for teams that have looked good too, right? Don't overreact to teams that have looked good and bad. I think that when push comes to shove, the Celtics are going to be a really good team. It's going to come down to whether or not they can tread water with Kemba out for the first couple of months and how he looks when he gets back. But like I said, I do anticipate Tatum taking a big leap in his production this year, and that's pretty much the biggest reason why I think the Celtics are going to be probably a top 3 record in the East at least. I would pick them probably top 3 at worst. So I really do believe that Boston is going to be a good team this year, and just don't overreact to what we've seen. Anyway, I think that's all I have on Boston. I just want to stress the importance of being patient with teams and making sure that we're not overreacting to preseason. I believe there's only a couple of games left Saturday evening, and then there's a couple days off before the start of the regular season. Do not be surprised if the Celtics look a lot better when they come out for their season opener. It's just... Brad Stevens is messing with rotations. The depth, they were missing a couple guys tonight. And I think they have a lot of young players who are ready to step up and play a little bit more. So anyway, that's about all I've got for you on the Boston Celtics. Like I said at the top of the video, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. Leave a like if you want to. Ring the bell. Leave a comment letting me know what you guys think about the Celtics this year. What did you guys see from them in their couple of preseason games? And how good do you think they're going to be? And anyway, with all that said, I will see you guys in the next one.